guys, Mark from Gunpla Network here. This is my welcome to me, I guess, and room tour and about me. As we've done a couple before, you would have had Scott's, Harry's, Danik's so far, I think. So I've been around in Gunpla Network since, I think a few months after it started. I joined initially when it started, and then a few months later I became a moderator. And then I've kind of worked my way up to, what would you call me, Danik? Pseudo second in charge, something like that. I don't know. Basically, I don't moderate as much as I used to because now I do content. I run the Instagram, so I try and find all those lovely photos that we put up. I also, apart from creating content, might throw up some of the webpage posts that you see. I obviously do the content for reviews. I've just done a beginner's tool guide. I've done a few tool reviews. Hopefully I'll do a few more in the future, apart from the Gunpla reviews, which I do enjoy creating for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy watching them. I try to keep them upbeat, but sometimes, you know, trying to let the tiredness of the day get to you, but unfortunately, like most of us, Gunpla isn't my main job. So, about me. I am 36, I work in IT, I have a family, I have my partner, and I have my son who is 3.5 and trying to break into this room all the time. This is an external room to the house. It's kind of like a little demountable space. It used to be a kid's room when we bought the house years ago, but I claimed it for my own, so I have my space to work in. You'll see I've just finished a little room delay. That's why my video hadn't gone up earlier, because I've just relaid it around and put in a new desk and stuff, so I had more space to work. So I work in IT as a project manager. Which basically, if you're not familiar with, I coordinate IT related works in my retail workplace. Anything that's going on IT related in a project, I will deal with. So Gunpla, I started about 4.5 years ago, something like that. I'm a mad anime fan. Never really done too much manga, but anime for sure. Since I was very, very young, I think the first thing I ever watched, I'm struggling to remember, it would have been a VHS tape. Kids out there are going, what the hell is a VHS tape? Or actually it was Betacord. We had Betacord. I was born in 82, so Betacord was just going out and VHS coming in. So still a tape, magnetic read tape essentially. And it was either Translator Z or Macross, which are both American rip-offs of Mazinger Z by Go Nagai, or Macross. So which everyone would know what Macross or Robotech is either way. Transforming robots, fighting, stuff like that. So very cool. I've been into that for most of my life since I was 5 or 6 years old. Which is, I think that's kind of cool, and hopefully my son is going to be into that, and he sees our desktop pictures and stuff on the computer. He's like, is that a Gundam? And I was like, it is a Gundam. You will build them one day. So, so I've been into it for a really long time. But Gunpla I only got into recently, like I said, last 4.5 years or so, because a friend of mine at an anime convention said, hey, why don't you build these things? You love the anime. And it's only 5 to 6 years I've been into Gundam itself. I didn't realize the anime was there. It was one huge chunk of robot anime I was missing out on. And it was around Build Fighters time sort of stuff that came in, and went to my local hobby store, Hobbyco, and I picked up a SDRX 78.2, which I used in the competition last year for GN, and remodeled it into a prototype version. So after an SD kit, I was hooked. I had to went back to Hobbyco, picked up the HG Banshee Norn, which is still sitting on my shelf right now in the original form, stickers and all. Then it was an RX-78, the first or second, I can't remember, one of the first few revives that came out, the original Gundam in a revive HG version. And it just went from there. It spiraled, cutting mats, nippers, knives, up to now airbrushing and paint rack, as you'll see as I give you a tour of my room. And yeah, it's like most people find, it's addictive. So thanks to that guy Gene for pushing me in that direction. I found the hobby, and I don't go to the conventions and stuff, cosplay anymore. I really don't. I go to a convention per year now, which is the Smash Anime Convention in Sydney, because that is the one that hosts the GBWC, Gunpla Builders World Cup, if you're not familiar with it. And this year coming up, so 2017 was my first entry, 2018 last year, and this year coming up will be my third entry into it. Not sure I'll ever win, but you know what, I'm in it just to participate and see all the other cool kits. And you know, Gunpla Community has such a great, I guess a great culture in it. Friendly people, and yeah, it's good socialising. I enjoy it. So, without boring you too much more, I'll give you a quick tour around the room now. So, I hope you enjoy. So my parts shelving, there where I keep all my spare runners and polycaps and weapons and upgrade parts I bought. That is my headphones and mic for the reviews. A spare, I guess it's a hanger stage I've got, which I might do some photos with. My magnifying glass light up, which is a great tool to have. Down here, that's just my backdrops that I use, rotating base, camera trigger for photos on the phone. A spare, I haven't decided what to do with a base diorama thing I got with it lights up. That's just spare pla plating. Airbrush compressors down there. And this is my new desk I've just picked up. I'll try and give you the view. I'm in the corner of the room, I can't really go back too much more. An L-shaped desk, which is cool because now I've got a painting side and a work area side. Okay, now this is and you'll see it looks like it's tilting, the paint rack, which I hastily made one day when I needed to put my paint somewhere because they were going everywhere. I will remake this in a much more sturdy and, you know, symmetrical design one day. But, you know, just keep all I've got some spare parts up there, tapes, tools, thinners, a mini vise. That's my enamel paints on the top shelf, which are good for detailing. And then I use lacquer paints. So I use SMS and Mr. Colour mainly because that's what's easily available to me. But apparently towards the end of this year we will be getting Gaia Notes in Australia, so I'm keen to try that. Then just all my glues and stuff. My Sparmax SP35 airbrush, important face mask that you must wear when painting. Cutting mat and tools I was just talking about. I keep a Bluetooth speaker for music and stuff when I'm listening to working on my stuff. And a couple of kits I got on the go at the moment, which are I've just finished the RG Zaku review, the GM Wagtail, and I'm about to start the MG Titans Mark II 2.0 as a review for you guys. This will be my first ever master grade, so I'm pretty excited. Obviously I keep a couple of lamps in here for light apart from the overhead bar light. The dreaded backlogs we're not allowed to talk about, but okay for this video. I have the Impulse Gundam, I'm not sure when that'll ever get built. System base, I've always got a couple of bases around. I've tried to sort them out, so you've got UC on the far right, then you've got some Stardust memory. The Curios kit I will get to at some point. Then I've got some Zeta I'm getting a collection of, the Gabaldi, Rick Dias and Yakashiki. I've got the Mark II RG already built. Some Thunderbolt, even though the Act Guy probably belongs more in the UC side, I've put him with Thunderbolt stuff. And a car kit which I want to build eventually, which is the Datsun 240Z or Devil Z. Move down, I've got my toolbox, a foam bit I just stick skewers into, some sanding blocks and Q-tip, which are always very handy to have. My infamous white gloves for review. Spare paper towel, cloths, the hammer shouldn't be in here, someone's put that in here. I use rubber gloves when painting to keep the paint off my hands, and that's just some spray cans of when I'm spraying a diorama or something much bigger. I've got clear and primer for that, so I don't have to waste a ton of smaller paint jars. And then further down, just keep the sandpapers and they're actually like a Q-tip but a large pad version, good for wiping stuff off or polishing, and some Chinese containers to put parts into. I won't really talk about these guys, but these are my two Detolf cabinets. Just look over the kits.